What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I do these steps. Nighttime. I haven't reached my 10,000 goal yet, but I'm getting close. But I want to talk to y'all about that brick lady, man. I got a bit of an update. I didn't expect to talk about her again so soon. But remember, it was the brick lady. She claimed, what was it? I want to say like last year or whatever. Maybe it was the year before. She had the whole big face, claimed that some dudes hit her in the head with a brick, or no, she claimed a guy hit her in the head with a brick because he wanted her number and she wouldn't give it to him. And not even gonna hold y'all up, I never believed that from jump because, I mean, like, real talk, I'm just like, sis, you not fine enough for somebody to be acting like that over. Like, for real. Like, a dude asked for your number, you turned it down, and so he went upside your head with a brick. It just wasn't believable to me. And that turned out to be a hoax. She injected some substance into her face to give it that swollen look. Because the swollen look, that in itself did not fit the narrative of being hit with a brick. You got hit upside your head with a brick, but no skin was broken. You just got like this swollen on the side of your head, the swollen cheek or whatever. It just did not make sense. It never really worked for me. So when it got revealed, I think it was the queen of accountability who exposed her. This just did not surprise me because it just never really made sense from jump. And of course, this created a lot of division amongst the black community. You had women talking about, once again, black women are the least protected. Black men don't protect black women. It was a bunch of division, and it was unnecessary. She basically used a hot button thing amongst the black community and tried to cash in on it. So upon her being exposed for being a fraud, the queen of accountability also had revealed a GoFundMe from 2020 to which she had got $5,000, claiming that she was like assaulted by some guys or back then. It's funny how these narratives that she pushes when she's asking for money, they always happen to be with men beating her up. It's funny how that's always the narrative that she goes with. It was fake in that situation as well. But here's what's crazy about it. Not only did that get exposed as being a lie, but, well, part of it was a lie. Her getting beat up by some men was a lie. She actually got beat up by some women. Apparently, she was at some bar, some club, some social place, and she was running off at the mouth to some women, and they gave her to work. So upon being given the business, she went outside, and that's when she made her victim video claiming that, we didn't know there was a video at the time. She got to work, and she went and she played the whole victim thing, taking pictures of her not really swollen face. And, she made the GoFundMe. There's a video now, though. There's a video now that we didn't have before where she's, like really hamming it up, trying to garner sympathy for those GoFundMe dollars. Now, the first one wasn't that successful. Well, technically, that wasn't the first one. But that one before wasn't really all that successful. You got $5,000. I mean, that's no money you're going to find in your couch cushion. But I'm sure it wasn't what she thought she would garner in sympathy from the sisterhood by claiming, she was abused by black men. Because that's why she keeps going to that well, because she believes that that's going to, give the most payoff. It just so happened when she tried it again with the brick story that she now got tens of thousands of dollars. So the scam she failed to perpetrate the first time Well, I guess she didn't fail. She did pull it off. She just didn't pull it off to the degree that she was aiming. So she thought, now you skip forward a couple years and she'll try the same scam again, but she'll kind of, sensationalize it. Now she's went to the degree of injecting something in her face. Now, how did it get discovered that she injected something in her face? I don't know how, but the Queen of Accountability managed to come across some sort of documentation showing that she went to the doctor to have a substance removed out of her face around that same time that she was going viral for being hit in the head with a brick. So she's been exposed very thoroughly. She can't make another GoFundMe. That's dead. They not only, I believe they paid back the people who donated to her. And guys, you got to be careful about some of these GoFundMe stories, because some people really just be hamming it up just to manipulate you emotionally into giving them money. Their goal is just to separate you from your cash. They're lying through their teeth. So a lot of you're good people. You want to do good. You want to help others out. And that's really commendable. But just be careful, because, trying to be a white knight and a savior, they say no good deed goes unpunished. And I like to believe that's not true, but in many cases it is true. So just be careful about whose story you believe, because they always go for these stories that are just going to hit you emotionally. Like, they're really going to tug at your heartstrings and get you worked up and mad as hell and ready to take action, like she did in this case. So just look into these stories. When you hear them, don't be quick to believe them. And even some cases, even when it looks legit, it's really not. We've had situations where people claim they had cancer and stuff for GoFundMes, and it turned out they didn't. They were faking it the whole time. So just be careful with that, y'all. Do not be somebody's sucker. Don't let people take advantage of your kindness, your good-heartedness. Just be a bit more, I don't want to say cynical, but maybe a little bit of cynicism is in order, because it seems like some people out there are just a tad too gullible for their own good. So she's making the media rounds, just claiming no accountability. She's trying to blame being held accountable on racism, of course, right? And I found this interesting, because I remember back then when this whole thing happened, it was dudes simping hard for her, especially when evidence that she was lying was starting to come out. Now, I didn't really think people should have been simping for her anyway, because it was just always something about her that just really wasn't seeming that believable. But dudes was simping really hard for her, man. And when evidence of her deception was starting to be revealed, they was simping even harder for her, okay? Like, you had grown men that wanted to white knight for this woman so bad, to where they were playing a race card, right? They were playing a race card about her being exposed, which I found that to be crazy, because the very person who was exposing her was another black woman. So they tried to play that card until they couldn't. It blew up in their face. So you can't claim racism and all this other sort of stuff when the very person who's exposing you looks like you and is the same gender as you. It just didn't work. So now she's out doing the whole podcast tour. I see she made an appearance on a podcast, possibly two, now that it's become public knowledge that she's being held accountable for the large deception that she perpetrated before. And I hate to say this, but in typical black folk fashion, when we do some dumb stuff and then we get caught up, the first thing that we want to do is claim that the reason why we're being held accountable is because we're black. And that's so darn silly. I cannot stand that. I think that is goofy logic and reasoning. It's victim mindset. You were out doing some dumb stuff. Why do you think that you should get a pass, that people should just look the other way because you got pigmentation in your skin? Like, really, they be so quick to claim that the reason why they're being held accountable is because they black, as if there aren't people of other nationalities out there who did the same dumb stuff who didn't get held accountable for it. You know, there are some people who slip through the cracks of different things of other ethnicities, but there's plenty of cases where people that look like me did too. So the racism thing is just really weak. If you don't want to be held accountable and punished for this stuff, just simply don't do it. Like, really, you could just simply opt not to do the stuff. So that's the update there with her, man. You know, she's being charged for some sort of fraud. I don't know what sort of time she's looking at, maybe a few years, something like that. But she's trying to claim that the judicial system is just against her because she's a black woman. You know, I find that to be ironic, because weren't the very people you were exploiting black people? Really, the very people that you were taking advantage of, that you were lying to, that you were trying to squeeze for sympathy dollars, they were black people. And now that you're being held accountable, it's because you're black. Doesn't make sense to me either, y'all. I'm gonna leave this there. Appreciate y'all connecting with me. I'm gonna finish up getting these evening steps in. Thumbs up this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Holla at y'all. Peace.